everybody, today's the day. Today's the day. We're making steps. I promise you that. We're getting past Covenant rank 17. We're gonna at least do better. That's my dream. 18. Oh my god, I didn't realize. We already did it. Mission accomplished. Stygian Umbra. I'm gonna tell you. Look, I'm not hitting you with an abandoned run out of cowardice. We've really just had a lot of specifically Stygian Umbra recently. But I ran them because I want them to give me what I want without me having to work for it. Okay, you know, I'll tell you what. You give me a run that's not Stygian in any capacity, and I'm for it. I'm for it. I don't believe you. I'll try it. Whatever, we gotta start the video at some point. Do we have a Descend in this deck? We do! So we could apply... It would heal an enemy, but it would also give them Daze 3, which is insanely good. I think that that's well worth it. And then our champion will be Spikes or Revenge. I like them both, don't get me wrong. I think I prefer Spikes. Like, really, the way that when you look at Spikes 10, you go, oh, Spikes 10, that's not that big of a number. When you actually think about it a little bit more, I think you can conceptualize that that basically means 30 damage per floor, spread evenly amongst the, well, if there's 3 enemies, which seems to be the most common, although here I'm made to look like a fool. So we definitely like our champion up here. And they are going to take a bunch of damage, which is real nasty. But I think that's okay. We don't have, like, big heals. So as much as I hate this, I think we like this. You'll take 10. Next turn, you'll take 12. I think we actually prefer the helical crystals there, just to stop the bleeding. We really just need to keep our champion alive. As long as they're being kept alive, everything's okay. We could even put a train steward, and actually putting a train steward down in front causes some problems. So, we want the gold. We don't really care for you. You're not doing anything. To be honest, I think we just do that. We got time to set up units in front of our champion here. We don't have a lot of time, but we got time. I will say, kind of like the idea of heal for 10... and also just move down a floor, and who cares about the healers, quite frankly. And I could give you a little less HP to have you do some more damage. Or I could play a train steward. I think playing a train steward behind is a better idea. Not to kill the healer, but rather to set up a higher damage floor to take out this unit up at the front here. I think that we are not going to slow them down too much. Yeah, only doing 60 damage is not great, obviously. I think we want a train steward. I don't know if the heal is going to change anything. It's either a heal or 2 frozen lances. I think you go for the heal anyway. It doesn't change anything, unfortunately, but it's either a heal and a frozen lance, or 2 frozen lances, I should say. I wonder if this would still daze you. It's kind of a... there is consequence if it goes wrong. But I don't think they would be moved, so I don't think it would count. So I think, sadly, your play is literally just this, and it's gonna suck, but... We did really well against the waves. And we're only at 37, which is not that bad, I think, for turning that trial on at the start. More than anything else, I think targeted damage to hit the back line is pretty valuable. And, I don't know how I would feel about a Mollusk Mage. Mollusk Mage does allow us, I mean, for one, I think we need units, but Mollusk Mage also makes our restores better, which will keep our champion alive longer. And I'm only now realizing how long it's taken me to come to that, conclusion. More than the tank, I think we probably would like a high damage multi-strike unit here. And if we could give it like another multi-strike is a really good start. And then, although this might seem kind of minor, like a large stone would kill, but I still think early on having 13 HP does a lot to defend against swipes and spikes and, you know, etc., etc. I would probably say that these frozen lances are not what we're looking for, so we're just trying to keep our deck maybe a little tighter earlier than we've been doing so recently. So spikes 3. I think we actually don't turn it on here, even though we got the extra HP. Just because I think our pyre would get so low, we'd face consequences on our next fight. So we love you up at the front here. You're doing a great job. Nobody's making it through. Let's get a train steward up one. We should have put them up here instead, but... We'll hope we get a collector on floor 2. That's floor 3. We can still get you. It's just not as good as I would like. So I think we will get you with that. And then how you doing here? You're doing fine. Definitely you get the other razor sharp edge. Now we're doing great. Might as well just keep those heals coming. And this Animus is like, it's disgustingly good to begin with. The Mollusk Mage, again, exists just to get the heals a little bit stronger. And we might as well put double regen on you. This is looking amazing so far. And a Vine Grasp will help us out there as well, not that we needed it. Alright, a very good floor. A very, very good floor indeed. I will say this is one of the very few times I don't think we need Glimmer. Yet, at least. I don't think we need a third Razor Sharp Edge. I think that 2 of those coming around a couple times is enough. So I think Sting is pretty great. And again, I really do like targeted damage. And that kills the backline super well, but it also does disproportionately high damage to bosses, for example. A Stygian unit, you're looking at stuff with Sweep. You're looking at stuff that applies Spell Weakness. You're looking at stuff that gets a benefit from Incanting. I think, just to be on the safe side, let's get the Pyre health, and we'll go to the Caverns instead. I think unit-wise, we're okay. I'm gonna take the Calcified Embers, because they become better later. You just have to hold them until it's time. Sadly, I don't really think there's a great endless opportunity here. You might say put it on Mollusk Mage, and then you could put Mollusk Mage in front, and then you could keep summoning it, but I really just don't think it's that potent, quite frankly, because we also want our champion to be the one taking the hits. So, I don't know, I kind of look at this like, maybe give Mollusk Mage a little bit of its own power here, and we'll chop out... For now, I don't want to chop out a unit. I think our Frozen Lances are what we'd like to see the least of. We do have a lot of cards now, early on, but they're all cards that work pretty well for what we're doing. Constructed Explosives have damage shield. Can still get hit by Razor Sharp. And Frostbite might torch him too. So you're doing 7 damage, which is basically nothing. So we'll set you up like this. I think we just put the double restore on you. And we're stopping the bleeding early, which is really nice. I don't really care if you make it up, obviously. And again, I think the Razor Sharp just does insanely good work here, and then we'll give you the... We'll give you the double regen anyway. We do take the same amount of damage. However, our unit will have more regen triggers, so they'll be more potent in the future. So, this one's a little bit worse, for sure. But I think this will kill you with... But Frostbite gets applied at the end, doesn't it? Well, either way, I think we want to Train Steward somewhere. We want to play that for draw. We might as well try it, like... Yeah, definitely did not work, but that's okay. And truth be told, if our champion dies, it's bad. Don't get me wrong. And first, just by the way, we're going to put our Mollusk Mage here. Just so that our heals are worth more. And we should... Yeah, we got no heals next turn, but we... never mind. Restoring Retreat will work. You're all dying anyway. I think we're best off playing this. Or a Train Steward, for that matter. But if our champion dies, as long as we can put something in front of our champion... Or in front of our Animus. That's the most important thing. But for now, they're living just fine. And we'll make... Because you're doing okay. Yeah, we'll make the Animus even heavier. This should be fine. We're only doing 372, which is a little less than I thought. That's enough. Alright. Alright. So we got a really, really good setup early here. I think we got a positive thing going. Let's see what we got. There's a lot to like. If we're not going to go for capacity, I actually like all of these. Siren Song is kind of hilarious because if we could get like permafrost on it, it will apply dazed 6 to enemies that go to the pyre. I think you go there. But we do want to make it permafrost as soon as possible. I really do feel like a second Spike Lord is pretty good. Who's our Stygian, or who's our boss? Sap. So, I mean, I think out of these, I think a second Spike unit is worth a lot. And then I really do think that maybe energy is actually your play early on, believe it or not. Our floors are looking totally fine. So we have two choices. I think our number one choice... I actually like this path a lot. We want to make units stronger. We also want to make a spell permafrost. We're probably not going to have enough gold to make it permafrost, but we can upgrade our spells nonetheless. But let's think about this first. Definitely, we don't need a third tank just yet, so we can get rid of our quick unit. And then these frozen lances are still getting yeeted from the deck post-haste. And our champion is tough. I mean, Spike's 20 is really good. Draw is nice with the amount of energy we have, too. This is a tough decision. I think we prefer the Spikes, because I do think right now we only have one unit that really crushes it from a damage standpoint. So that's probably what I would look for now. I'm just studying it. You know how dogs is. Cheaper helical crystals. And then for magic power, believe it or not, I'm kind of like, just give me like a super regen. And we can start to cut the other regens if we get better regen cards. But the word regen no longer has any meaning to me because I just keep repeating it over and over. You get +6. I can live with that. I can live with +6. Hello, my son. How you doing here? You're doing 16 damage and you get stronger over time. Not great. If I play this, we will get 1 kill. But it means... I think we play it. But it means that we have to play other tank and Animus up a floor, which I think is also completely fine. Wait, really, this does do 3 extra damage, so it makes you a little easier to kill in the future. You might as well take one of these, and then let's play you up here in case there's a collector. It's easier to deal with a collector on the 2nd floor than the 3rd floor. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so this is like mission accomplished right off the bat. We love the Thorned Hollow up here as long as they're not dying. Ruka, you can't go there, buddy. That's the monitor. You can go on the cat tree. So we got a good thing going on up here. Don't get me wrong. Probably for sanity's sake, you just do that. But our tank is in a lot of danger. And it's very hard to heal them. Although this will probably make it... It will more than make it plausible. But it's just a question of where you want to put them, because it is a little spicy, right? I think... Hear me out here. Which unit deserves the big heals? I am going to say this guy deserves the big heals. Couple of reasons. He's much lower. He gets spikes on each heal, although it's going to take him a long time to get to 20. Secondarily, he can't be targeted by the Descend that heals for 10, whereas you can. So we're going to... Okay, nothing fits up there. So we're going to start here. You're going to live. And then I think, in this case, because we get a higher value from the heals down here, we will pop these out, and we should be okay. Remember, these are heavier hitting units as a result of the... Oh, that's beautiful. These are heavier hitting units as a result of the trial that we turned on. So you guys are not dying. Now you're both dying. That's really nice for us, to be honest. All of these have some value. I think it's still best to do it here. We'd really like to get a huge heal. We don't really have a huge heal, but we'd like to get as much heal as possible on this guy. And we could descend him, but well, I don't know. To be honest, I'm like, maybe we'd be better off descending our Animus, as long as it's not a sweep boss, but if it's a sweep boss, what do we care? I could descend you, the only problem is you'd be at the back. So I think we actually do descend you, now that I had a chance to think about it a little bit more. No sweeps? No sweeps. You're dead. Okay. I'm not gonna say that that was, you know, mission accomplished. It's exactly how it should have been handled, but I think it went pretty well. Okay, not bad. I mean, actually very good. Nobody made it to our 3rd floor. I wish I liked this more right now, but I really don't. I think that's worth it, and a double stack makes it even better. The incant is like... To be honest, I think you can make that incant work on the middle floor. Oh, you're making our embers better. Let's go. Okay, so gain 2 energy and draw a card. That's worth quite a lot, honestly. Plus, we get the blight cards removed out of our deck, which is fantastic. Okay, so what do we need here? Well, the first remove... Well, hold on. Let's think about this. We didn't really use our train stewards in that last one, so there's stuff to think about. A quick multi-strike is like a given. I think making your champion... Not champion, making your spike tank tankier is incredible. And then let's just chill for a second here. I do think maybe this is like 1 train's... I don't know, I feel like you still get rid of both train stewards here. And as far as our remaining stuff, I do 35 times 2 seems fine. Although you have super low HP, obviously. This seems like an adequate reroll situation to me. And I will say I think a large stone is not the play for once. And can't get armor 1. No, I think you give extra spikes to your spike champion. Then in can't get armor 1. Maybe making the guardian stone a little tankier is okay. And we just and this is very rare for us to not buy large stone, but it is what it is. So what kind of boss are you? You're the stealth. I thought maybe there was a sweep boss that comes out here. Let's not turn the trial on. We got our pyre health is a resource we're trying to manage here. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Dunk, 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 dunk. This is not an amazing one. So you're taking 20, which seems impossible, but is definitely correct. We're just gonna get set up, I mean, the exact way you'd expect. And honestly, I don't think we play this. So we play this, right now we're taking 2, 4, 6, 8. If we play this, we're taking 4, 6, 8. It does save us 2 damage? It does save us 2 damage, okay. Worth thinking about. So we do not have a Mollusk Mage, but that's okay. The Animus of Speed plays the role behind here. I think we just play out our hand. And at least now we only have 1 big unit, and the big unit's still taking some hits. We need some heals, so really right now we look at this as like, ideally this would be bottom floor Mollusk Mage. Oh, it's so good with Incant if we can get it. It's not Mollusk Mage. That's not Mollusk Mage. We can still heal you. So you guys are doing fine. Definitely with 8 energy. You know the spikes are coming out. Let's put them here. It's really a question of how we choose to divvy up the damage here. Like, do we want to kill these guys? Yeah, we do. But they'll also blow each other out. Phrasing. On the spikes, as long as this unit just lives. So I almost think you just do this, and also make your Animus stronger. And then for Vine Grasp, well, it's gonna kill an enemy, but it's also gonna make you do 2 damage instead, and then these guys are gonna get the extra 2. So I think we don't play it here. I think. The hard part is gonna be keeping our champ alive, for sure. But we knew that was the problem to begin with. So the Mollusk Mage goes at the back, And then also now our heals become substantially stronger. And these guys, we still don't want to wipe them. I think we just want to make our Animus even stronger. And we can't really get value out of this incant unit right now. So I think that maybe we still play it up here just to do like that. We are going to probably go for capacity next. Nobody's taking any damage, so let's not sweat that. Just give you as much health as possible. This is a really good use of the Mollusk Mage, dude. Who knew? Alright. Everybody is probably the answer. You're only taking 120, which is bad. You have spikes, so I'm kind of tempted to bring you down here, but maybe we'd be better off bringing you down here. Okay, for one... You know we're playing that. I think we play that. Nope. How are you only taking 96? We have 24 spikes. Oh, we die in 4 hits. Okay. I mean, we could heal you for 1. That seems pretty dumb. I think we don't bring you down. We would rather have the stealth be gone by the time this happens. So then it's like, what do you do? Honestly, I think you maybe move down this unit, and at least you're getting some armor out of it. And then you have 1 turn of stealth, you're taking 227. Alright, so we gotta think about this. We gotta think about this. With 4 energy, how much does this change things? By about 10. I definitely don't think we play... Well, I don't know. Razor Sharp actually, like, on you, depends how long you live for. Once you get to 45, you actually become a little bit stronger. Yeah, that added 100 damage there, because you're surviving 1 extra attack. So with you surviving 1 extra attack, this doesn't change the amount of attacks you're surviving, but it adds 16 damage per attack you get to do. Now you're at 396. Throw in another 50 on top of that. I don't know if our train stewards are gonna finish the job, but they don't need to. But we're kind of playing with fire. We really need some healing cards. Like, I think sadly we kind of have to take Awake. Edge Prior could be interesting, but we really don't have the capacity. And Dazed is still very good, I think. Although we do want our units to attack us because of the spikes, but it is what it is. So, we want Permafrost on our Pyrebound card. I swear to God, one day it's gonna do what we want it to do. So we finally got rid of our last Frozen Lance. I think that you could definitely still yeet a Train Steward. We would like some more units, don't get me wrong. Sting is better, or Rooted to enemies that enter the room below the Pyre room. Sure, we only have 1 Sting at the present moment. Holdover is interesting. And we will take it, but it's not what we want. So I would say for Holdover, I mean, there's a lot of decent options. Dazed is a good one, but because we have spikes, I don't think we want it constantly. Awake is close, but is so expensive. But having the option to play it is worth an awful lot. But I think it might be a little bit too much. We'd really prefer this was Permafrost. So for me, on a Holdover, I actually think we look at, like, this. And it's really rare for me to be interested in that, but I believe it. I believe in it. And similarly, I actually believe that a Consumed Restore is probably better for us. And then actually Awake being cheaper might have made it worth holding over. Maybe I should have thought that one through a little more, but I think that we made sensible choices. So you're going to make our deck worse, which I think is fine for now because our Pyre health is pretty high. Yeah. This seems okay to me. So we love this. You guys are getting burned out. We love this. And then, honestly, I think we like this. Even though this will stay in our deck and also do 5 Pyre damage, the regen is not worth nothing. It's not worth a ton, but it's not worth nothing. So, there's kind of like some non-negotiable ones here. Thorned Hollow has to go up. Animus has to go behind. And then you get a choice. And our choice would probably be this. And then why not? Put a Guardian Stone up here. You can have a Train Steward floor. We're taking capacity if we win. It would be sick if you were not immobile, but you are. So I think helical crystals kind of have to come out up here. We're not going to play this, so we can go, yeah. At least we're doing some damage, and then we can play that. All right. So far, we've got good management. We have multi-strike units, which is really good for us, because multi-strike units are going to take way more damage from spikes. I think we got so much energy. You can take that. We also might prefer if you don't get hit. You're taking 12. Let me think about it. I mean, we're going to play everything. It's just a matter of where. You're already dying. If I play this on you, you won't even make it up. Which seems more interesting to me. $10 spikes, 20 spikes. I think we can stall for a bit, and really, we have more healing targets that can hit our champion because of Descend working better on them, that we don't really mind setting it up like that. I think you want to prioritize healing this guy, not only because he gets the spike triggers, but because it's kind of rarer to be able to do so. So you hit these incants on the top floor. It's the kind of thing you don't expect to matter, but there's a first time for everything. And we'll continue to make you a little bit stronger. And then we're thinking, this time, we gotta get you. And we gotta play that. And we gotta play this. And then do we want to stall these guys? That's an interesting question, right? I think we don't want to stall you. 24 by 4 and then 5. We don't want to stall you either. We can daze you, not that it's going to help us. I mean, it gives us an incant trigger. But our spikes are such an important part of the process right now. Alright, so we know that we want Mollusk Mage down here, because it gives us heavy heals. And if we can't play a Purge, we can't play a Purge. But I think we're totally going to be able to play this and get it out there. I will say that I think 20 spikes... I don't really care about you. I think 20 spikes is fine for our champion. So if we have the ability to live, we would not mind giving them, like, regen does damage. Okay, so you're only taking 403. You're taking 532. This floor is going to hurt you too. I mean, you're our highest damage unit. You got to live long enough to make it happen. You're at full HP. The regen's probably not going to change that, so we'll get that out there. Now we can't play the other helical crystals. Ah, you fool. You fool. I don't know. That might add 60 damage. It probably doesn't, but it might. So you're taking 500. I think I'm going to stop you right there. That 4 regen does enough. And then also, take the night off. You work too hard. That's good. I'm a little surprised that we're still here, but that's good. I feel like I underrate gifts for a guard, but I'm still not sure it's the right time. I think Harness the Titan... I think it makes sense, even just to hit our regens. I think it's good enough. So I'm telling you, unit upgrades, sure, some relevance. But if we could get Permafrost on our Pyrebound card, oh my god, I've been waiting for it for 100 years, come on. Okay, Awake is still really good with Holdover. And if we don't want it, guess what? Don't play it. Now these, I'm gonna just fish early for Permafrost, and oh my god, it worked. And then now, Pyrebound all of a sudden becomes a super good card that basically does, I don't know, 6 turns of our Pyre's damage to enemies before they hit. So this is like 240 damage, which is incredible. Realistically, we only have one more shop. Let's just take the Pyre Armor. I think that's way more sensible. And we do get the Rejuvenate trigger. But is that worth... It's not. 20 spikes and all the HP, like 20 extra spikes and all the HP means this is the way we gotta go on this. This is the right way to do it. We're not turning this on. We actually have a great setup. You're doing 13 damage. Okay, hold on. You gotta think this one through. You definitely want this. We're playing this no matter what. Playing that no matter what. I don't think this is gonna do anything. You kind of gotta do it anyway. We get you going up here. We know we want you here. And you know what? Guess what? Starting now, you have 8 extra damage. We didn't have a better target for it, I think. I don't mind you being there. We need an Animus somewhere. It doesn't have to be Animus of Will on this floor, but we'll allow it. And then, if you get to the Pyre, so be it. Full stop. You have a Resolve trigger. I was like, why did we screwed this floor up? Why do we have 1 extra capacity? Anybody want to answer that question? That's correct, because we added capacity. That's correct. So you need more spikes, quite frankly. And, I mean, you're rooted for a floor. I guess we could maybe draw our Pyrebound card, and then we'd be better off playing, like, this down here instead. We'll put it... Oh, no, you know what? I bet a Train Steward will just kill you next turn. Even better. Well, actually, the Train Steward will be killed, but if we could do something about it, that changes things. So the Animus of Speed goes up. Now we got all our damage units out, which is extremely nice, and we'll start drawing. Really, this is one we use right here. With 5 energy, you get more spikes. You're not dying, which makes perfect sense. Do we care about the Train Steward living? I would say the answer to that question is absolutely not. So let's make sure you just die. And if you make it to the Pyre, so be it. You heal. Yeah, because I don't want you to move. And you get much stronger. Okay. It took us a long time. We finally got our setup. We still have not drawn the the Pyrebound card, which would be super useful right now, but it is what it is. So, I think we want you to have the super regen. You're gonna become a spike monster. That's your new role, is monster of the spikes. And I think even just giving you even more right now makes a lot of sense. 58 damage, huh? I feel like I move you to the front. Yeah, I would rather you just move the tanks out of the way. And our Pyre's got armor on it, so I'm not sweating it too much. So the question is, do we want to use this right here? It would totally work, and it would cycle back around. So the answer is absolutely. Rooted enemies don't get... The Pyrebound doesn't affect them. Alright, that's useful intel. Thanks, I really appreciate it. So we're going to put our Incanter down here. You're still kind of crushing it, to be honest. Like, you're doing fine. So considering the holdover... Although we got holdover here. Now this is way better. I think we just really fixate on putting spikes on our unit that gets more spikes every time he regens. Okay, so we're on brief respite, and everything's still completely fine, for the record. And you're doing great with the regen. You got 8 turns of it. Let's give you some sauce. Might as well. We prefer that you hit, honestly, so I think we like that the most. And okay, everything's totally fine. This seems great, quite frankly. You're not dying. And that's got to be because of trample, because these units are, like, so weak. So 590. Man, that hurts. 654, so we're surviving 1 extra turn. The question then is, where do you put the regen? Because I think you got... This, it might make enough of a difference. 783. I like that. Let's get this going then. And I'm trying to think here. 26 times 4 is 104. 26 times 5 is 150. You're at 122. We're not going to get you to 150. We need to cast like 30 spells. So instead we use our regen here. This still seems fine. Yeah, totally fine. Definitely should have used this first, but... Anyway. I do think we're gonna run into trouble with our, with the boss. But I hope that I'm incorrect there. And honestly, I think our deck is great. Maybe some sting spells would be nice too, but... Could we fit another unit on the second floor? Like, Frostbite's always nice, but... I don't think it's essential. So with 180, what do we want? Maybe gold and buy a relic? Which is plausible. Would we rather dupe a card? There are good dupe targets. It's not a question of whether or not duping is good here. It's a question of, is it the best option? Because, you know, we could easily dupe an Excavated Ember, and it's just great by default, although it consumes. You could dupe a holdover thing like Awake, but actually our problem in that fight is that we got enough HP, easily, but on Relentless we ran into problems. So, what are the other benefits here? You might get to upgrade a unit, but our units are pretty much 100% upgraded as is. So I actually think in that case we're better off coming this way. We talked ourselves out of it. And we know that our Train Steward is useless. And to be honest, I think we kind of have come to terms with the fact that Vine Grasp is also not that useful right now, but I think we can cut a basic regen because we have so many cards that have regenerative capabilities with holdover. Friendly units get extra HP or frozen to a random card in hand. That's not bad, but I don't know if it's as good as a couple spell upgrades. Remove consume and make something more expensive. I mean, by default, that's pretty great. And then with 120 remaining. No. I don't think it's that relevant. Hopefully we never use that on a boss. Or on an enemy, I should say. Plus 20 magic power and consume. You know, I think I don't mind Vine Grasp getting yeeted out of this deck. To focus it on what we've got going on. And, you know, frozen cards would have been nice, but we already have the one permafrost card we really need. So the problem here is that our Animuses get sapped really badly. But the benefit is that we don't rely on them for that much damage. A lot of our damage essentially just boils down to having a lot of spikes and being able to keep the unit alive. So I do think sweep units are going to be a real problem. I think you play the Animus down here. You're going to get to attack, unfortunately. We can at least take off 12 damage. And then we know that you're going to come up here. And then you get razor sharp, but with sweep, it's very scary. But it makes you do so much more damage on turn 1. If we get swept, we get swept. I mean, famous last words, but I mean, it's just a question of whether it's going to hurt now or hurt later. So we need this Animus up here. Helpful. Lots of damage, but the scarier damage is definitely... Hold on, I'm thinking. The scarier damage is definitely up here for now. You're going to make it to the pyre. It is what it is. We got a lot of pyre health to play with. We do have an incant trigger here, so we like and we like that. Alright. We know that we don't want to play this yet. We want to play it next turn to send you up. If we even want to send you up, which we may not. And you're doing great. You're doing great now. We got so much energy. That's big. That's big. Do we want to daze you guys? I think no, because I don't really want you to just do this damage upstairs instead. So weirdly enough, I don't think we play it. You're taking 70 damage? That's funny. How only 70? You're getting hit... Oh, because 8 spikes and you're getting hit for 60. Okay. Well, I mean, to be honest, to save the damage then... Oh, but we don't want to discard our hand. Okay, so it's all becoming clear now. So we're kind of like... If an enemy gets by, For now, we're kind of letting him go. You're still doing okay. It looks worse than it is. You could use a little extra sauce. Now you're back to basically full. You're not quick. You're quick. So hold on. I don't mind if you guys make the pyre. We got pyre armor for a reason. You're doing great. Whatever. Who cares about the harvest? We still want mollusk mage down here. It seems like we're not getting sweep units. So I'm going to give you this. And I'm just going to cast... It's not great, but I'll cast one heal here. And again, I don't see a need to play the Siren song quite yet. You may disagree, but I don't see it. More armor. Okay. You need awake. You're living just fine. We could send you up, but you're gonna hit the pyre only slightly. Nobody cares. So I guess we're never gonna play the card, is what I'm trying to say to you. I didn't mean to play it, but it does cost 0. Please, I need my mollusk mage. Thank you. Mollusk mage, get out here. Tell him what he's won. This champ is a little spicy trying to keep him alive, but we're staying in there thanks to Awake. So Mollusk Mage is what we wanted, and also it does damage. And then you're not dying. No, not even close. Alright, good stuff. You're taking 20. Still sucks. And by the way, we should have played this first, probably. At least we're getting one of you. Maybe time to play this. It would save us 20 damage. I would probably look to that as the right... Oh, and you guys get dazed for 3 turns, which is maybe solid. We probably should have played it way earlier. You know, my mistake there. So you do really well just with this. And then you do great with that. The spikes are getting out of control. We still like to have the most amount of damage plausible. And you will just try to slow down. Everybody else is doing okay. Thank God for no sweep. Final wave. Okay, well, our pyre is gonna live. You're taking 1,000 damage. That's good, but we want more, of course. 1 turn of dazing is definitely worth it here. So, we like this. If we're gonna daze, we get to play 1 more spell. And it should really be the regen up here. You're actually taking less now. I know it's because of the spikes, but I thought that our damage from the Animus did better than it actually did. We did well, though. We did well there. Now here, you're taking 400 and something. I think we can do a lot better than that, quite frankly. You don't have trample or anything. You're not going to kill my pyre. So we like this. 628. 708. 766. I think it comes down to what spells we draw next turn. I think we did it. Oh my god, we're gonna lose by 1! 1 attack! Maybe because I played the days. That hurts. I mean, it was such a good run. I had a great time. We played it perfectly up until the very end, but that's Monster Train, baby. We're working on it, Ruka. We're working on it, Tomo. We'll get there one day. For now, thanks for watching. I apologize, but I feel really good about that one. That's the kind of loss that you can learn a lot from. If you enjoyed it, please do click the like button. It helps out a great deal, especially on these long episodes. If you watched all 44 minutes and 26 seconds of it, you had to have enjoyed it. Click the like button. It helps me out a great deal. I'll see you next time. And in the comments. See ya.